morning, and
Good
it's
morning.
Wednesday, and what is it, fellas?
It's time to talk
Talk
antiques
antiques.
again. Already Wednesday.
You know, before we get started, I want to just say a real quick couple of things. You know, this show has lasted over 16 years. Really, we're going into the 17th year this fall. But here's the thing. And I guess the reason it's lasted so long is because people got it from the very start. You know, it's okay to invest in different things, and you should be diversified. But my two priorities as far as investments have always been, first thing, you know, real estate, to me, I don't care what anybody says, it's still a good investment.
Right.
And, you know, right now, if you got any rental property at all, and you got, if you don't get 3 or 4 phone calls a week, somebody wanting to rent, knowing that you got it, that they wanting to rent a piece of property from you, I'll be surprised.
Yeah, I had 2 different people last week ask me if you had something in.
Yeah, I mean it.
I always rent a house.
That is a good investment. Now, so real estate to me is still a good investment. I don't care what anybody says, it is. But also, these antiques like gas signs, Coke signs, machines, pumps, and just different things. Now, I'm saying things that I collect, okay? But
right.
There is other things too. There is some certain glassware and artwork. Yeah, right.
Lots
I mean,
of things.
Yeah, but I guess my point is, if you're gonna have a portfolio of investments, you know, antiques should be a part of it, or not collectibles, not something that they're gonna make 100,000 of or 100 million of.
Right.
But I'm talking about like the true Americana stuff. You know, the signs, like I just said. I gave an example of a Sundrop sign 10 years ago. I bought for $100. It brought $1,500 on eBay.
Exactly. You know, you look at the stock market and you look at their 10-year average. I mean, you know, antiques are going to do better in most cases.
I'm just not a fan of the stock market.
Me neither.
Because I think it's ran on fear and greed, and those two things alone have took a lot of money from a lot of people. Now, not everything is bad in the stock market as far as investment.
Right.
But if you don't know the stock market and you don't have a good broker, I mean, you just can't just get out there and start buying stuff and thinking it's going to go up.
No.
But you know, if you are going to invest in the stock market, I think you ought to be more diversified. Have things. And as a matter of fact, I read an article where antiques was even one of the things they said. They said have cash. They had said real estate. And, you know, they named these items.
I've read several
and
stories
antiques
about
was one
that.
of them. So I guess that's why our show has lasted so long, because people, you know, they got it from the very start.
Yeah. They're looking for something to invest. They want to know what to invest in.
Yeah.
They want to know what things they're doing, how to price their items.
Well, I'll
Whatever they
give you
happen
an
to be
example
collecting.
about something, and it's one of the first reclining chairs. And so I bought it 10 years ago. And here's another thing you can do. You know, if you can hold on to stuff, you know, eventually there'll be, and that's one thing about Mr. Langford, Dick Langford, and Dean. You know, if you got the patience and you hang on to it, you know, and antique, some of it does go in cycles. You know,
Yes.
It cools down and then it comes back. But if you got the staying power, and that's what Mr. Langford and Miss Langford had. They had the staying power, and those items you'll get what you want or more.
Well, I learned a long time ago that, you know, if you're gonna get into antiques, you need to be able to hold on to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you can't just be wanting to buy something and turn it over. Now you can make a little money doing that, but you need to be able to stay in it for the long term and not need the money, because it is an investment.
Right.
And you're investing for
And you need to plan on it to be. You need to have some type of long-term commitment for your retirement.
Yes.
You know, like I said, I do not believe in those collectibles. You know, I'll give you a good example. Beanie Babies. Do I need to say any more?
You need to say no more at all
that
about
was
Beanie Babies.
hot thing at one time.
Oh, they would fight you over them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now you can buy them things by the hundreds.
For a little or nothing.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of times you can't get one.
Well, anyway,
I'd be curious what they are on eBay right now.
well, I tell you what, you got a computer there while we're talking. Just type
check.
in Beanie Babies while we're talking.
Yeah.
Now, Ronnie, you know there is still stuff out here that our audience can find. I mean, they're still in garages, they're still in barns, they're still in attics, and you have a good example of an attic find.
One good example, I was pulling some wires at my house over the weekend, Sunday, and I found two tail lights that you and I looked them up yesterday. They fit a 69 to a 71 Torino, and they had brought $169
For the pair.
for the pair on eBay. Yeah.
Not once, but 2 or 3 times in that range.
Right,
So it's not like it's a fluke for them to bring that. I mean, we looked at several different ones. They was in that between 150 and 180 range.
And I just picked them up in the attic, and carried them down.
And you found another little a neck.
For a thermostat.
Yeah.
A little chromed out neck, and it'll fit lots of different cars.
Yeah.
People always want chromed out parts, and just stuff like that. And they're in garages, they're in attics, they're in barns. Stuff's everywhere. If you just
Still is.
yeah, it's there, it's out there. If a person, just look for it. And there's no telling, how much money just laying around people's houses that they don't even think about. You know?
Yeah. Here's the amazing thing to me. I mean, they had millions of them, though. I mean, bottles, soda bottles. And Coke made up and Pepsi made up a lot of the millions, but you take the Sun Drops and, and all the different bottles. Some of those bottles, a Sun Drop bottle with the red emblem on it will bring, from depending on the shape of the bottle, of course, but I've seen them bring from $3 to $50, depending on where it was made.
A few weeks back we were talking about that. They were some really expensive
Is it
ones.
the steel can?
I think it's aluminum, but it's a weird top. It's not like the soda cans.
Yes.
Like the shape is different.
Yeah, and I tell you what,
Someone found it in the rafters of our old building.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's probably worth something. No problem.
bringing it next
It is.
week.
It is. But
Anything
matter of fact,
different like that.
why don't you, after you do this Beanie Baby thing, just look up your Sun Drop can?
I didn't think about that. I'll check that too.
You can do that since you're on eBay. You do know that, right?
And you're very experienced at it by now.
Did you do the Beanie Baby thing?
Yes.
All right. So what did you find on the Beanie Baby? How many hundreds can you buy for $25?
I did a couple different searches.
Did you do completed?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me-
Or sold? Well, let's go here. We got dead air.
Pulling up the wrong page. The most expensive one you can still get is someone bought one for $35,000.
Yeah.
Princess Diana Beanie Baby.
Uh-huh.
Super rare Indonesia Canadian tag.
Uh-huh.
4 days ago, $35,000.
Yeah.
I bought it.
Well, how about, though, I know that you can buy hundreds of them.
You can get a lot of like 30 for $20. A lot of 18, looking about $1 a piece.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, we're talking about things that brought hundreds of dollars at one time.
That people were fighting over, for something that's bringing
Yeah,
a dollar in.
I guess between, if you wonder, between the money that they paid for it, that they could have got out of it, plus the doctor bills they could have, they had to pay to get that out of them.
Yeah.
I wonder how many dollars was generated that they actually lost in income from not selling.
Yeah.
A lot of 210 for $500. The 90s and 2000s retired version. 440 of them for $425.
So just a little tad over $1 a piece. I think you're right on $1. So
And
look
these
up your Sun Drop can.
Rare, it says air. If they're
I know. Hey, you know what that word rare? Let me just say it. That Sun Drop can is rare. I'm saying that, but is it rare?
let's see. No.
That's a term a lot of people use.
Yes, to generate attention.
You see it all
Draw
the time
attention to
on the
their-
list.
to their
Rare.
listing.
Hardly ever seen. Or,
Hard to find.
and then when you go
1978 is $10.
$10, there you are.
Still,
A
that's cool.
$10 sun drop can.
Wow.
What do you think about that?
It costs a lot less than that.
Or I threw one in the recycling
Yeah.
bin. the
Hey,
other day.
did you hear what Philip told you, Keith?
Say
That-
it again.
It costs a lot less than that Beanie Baby did when it's, there's-
True.
Well,
They're worth more than the Beanie Baby.
Wow. That's crazy.
All right.
But point being, antiques. You buy good stuff is always going to bring good money.
Yeah.
Good stuff will always bring good money.
Yeah, and Ray said something earlier too about his dad. When his dad was traveling around, when he first got started, he barely made it.
Starved to death first 5 years.
Yeah, and I bet nobody asked for for a signature for an investment, but they want it now for an investment.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
Lord, you know.
Max brought me a book over not too long ago, and I took it down to Nashville and had Dad sign it, and Max said, "Well, I'm gonna keep that book forever."
Well, sure. I'm telling you, so some of the Grand Ole Opry stars, years ago, nobody thought about that kind of stuff. Hey, I'll tell you one better than that. And I know as a police officer, you worked a lot of them. How about wrestling matches? Wrestlers, old wrestlers.
When I was maybe 16 or 17 years old, we all lived in Dixon Road Trailer Park.
Yeah, and they lived there too.
And they lived there too. I carried their stuff into the Hippodrome many a night out there in Nashville.
I have several wrestlers' autographs.
Yeah.
Well,
I got when I was a kid,
Yeah.
Because, as a matter of fact, I believe y'all worked concessions.
Yeah, we did.
And I used to hang around and get their autographs.
Yeah, one time I could do the Fargo strut. My strutter's gone.
Hey, which one was it? Didn't one of those Fargo brothers? Didn't one of them run for sheriff one time?
I don't know.
I believe he did.
Jackie
Davidson
and
County
Don,
Sheriff.
and they had a younger brother,
Don and Jackie, though. I believe it was one of those two that ran for sheriff. I thought they did.
About all I can remember is one had a pink Cadillac and another had a blue.
Ain't that something?
Same year, everything.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do. Let's take a break here, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the 10 highest priced items that sold on eBay.
All right.
Do you need a part for your car that the dealer just wants too much money for? Well, bring your toolbox and pull the part yourself for huge savings at the CFC Auto Salvage Pick and Pull on Highway 55 between Tullahoma and Manchester. No walking through waist-high weeds here. All of our vehicles are located in our graveled parking lot, up on blocks with room to work. We stock hundreds of cars and trucks, foreign and domestic, new and old, with new vehicles added weekly. You can even search our entire vehicle inventory online. And if your old vehicle gives up the ghost, bring it by. We offer top dollar for your salvage vehicle. Open to the public 7 days a week until dark, so there's plenty of time to come by. That's CFC Auto Salvage Pick and Pull.
John Hirschman. I'm one of the original 6 owners of P&H Rentals. Started the company 30 years ago when we saw a need for individual, construction, industrial, and commercial storage. We have trailers and containers for lease and sell. Our physical location is 2947 Old Manchester Highway, Tullahoma, Tennessee. My phone number is area code 931-273-4252.
We would like to thank Dr. David Florence for supporting Let's Talk Antiques. See Dr. Florence at 804 Kalon Street in Manchester for all of your medical needs. Call 728-5522 for your appointment today. Most insurances accepted.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
Madeline's Antiques and Uniques at 6107 Murfreesboro Road in Manchester has been helping collectors find just the right thing since 2008. With 40 quality dealers and a constantly changing inventory of collectibles from the 1800s to the present, they have many unique items in the store and new things coming in daily. Are you looking for the perfect lamp or clock to finish your collection? A vintage lunchbox from your childhood? Well, you can find that plus any number of other unique items in their huge building. With their easy access off I-24, they meet many travelers from around the world and just around the corner that come to buy and sell antiques, or just to stop and have a free cup of coffee and a cookie while browsing around the store. Come visit owner Madeline Kemp and travel back in time at Madeline's Antiques and Uniques. So many memories.
All right, this is Philip. Hey, in a minute we're going to talk about the shoeless Joe Jackson bat that sold on eBay, because it was one of the most expensive things. But that brought it up that Rush's bass player, Rush is one of the few bands that didn't go crazy in the 70s and 80s, and actually smart guys, and they invested their money. And in a video, Geddy shows his baseball collection, Geddy being the singer, and he's got tons of Babe Ruth baseballs and uniforms, and he his prize item in his collection was Shoeless Joe Jackson, one of 2 bats that he has.
Well, tell him about Shoeless Joe Jackson.
I don't know.
He was one of the players that, remember that in the 1919 World Series game that they said they accused him of fixing the game, throwing the game.
Yeah. So, and he was like 1919.
Yeah.
That would have been when Arnold Rothstein fixed the World Series.
Yeah.
Right. So that was his prize item of collection.
Those Babe Ruth balls is kind of worth.
And the Babe Ruth balls are bad.
Babe Ruth.
Okay, Ronnie. Yeah, you're the one that got us on this, so I'm not even going to talk about the first one because I think it's ridiculous. It's about a guy that sold his life on eBay, okay?
Yeah.
To me, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I'm not even going to, I don't even know why they even let him do it.
Sold his what?
His life.
Yeah, I've heard of selling your soul.
No, he sold his life. Okay, here's the next one. Number 9 was a Shoeless Joe Jackson baseball bat. It brought $577,610. Now, it says right here, the Black Sox scandal in which he and other White Sox players were accused of throwing the 1919 World Series for a bribe. Shoeless Joe Jackson made the news again in 2001 when his bat brought what I just told you. It's a 36-inch bat, and it was called
Black Betsy.
All right. Mm-hmm. All right, here's a Ferrari. Enzo? Is that what it is?
Enzo Ferrari, yes.
$1 million.
That was the guy that played.
Oh, here we go. Here's a Honus Wagner baseball card. Honus Wagner was famous about not, he did not promote tobacco products at all. But so happened the tobacco company actually made some cards, and he made them stop. So what cards did get out there, or everybody wants them. And I'd say your Rush Singer has one. Honus Wagner card, $1.1 million.
We were talking about tobacco cards a couple weeks ago.
He's a Hall of Famer just like Babe Ruth. And he was a shortstop. Inducted into the Hall of Fame alongside Babe Ruth after taking the Pirates to the World Series. Not once, but twice.
Said only.
Okay, now here is everybody's dream to own their own town.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't wait.
Here, Bridgeville, California. It says, it's got a sign that says, "Welcome to Bridgeville." It says on it, "If you lived here, you would be home now." Well, that probably makes sense. If you lived there, you would be home. Okay, it brought $1.77 million to own your own town. The 83-acre town may be small, with just 8 houses, a post office, a cafe, and only 30 residents. But that didn't stop the privately owned town of Bridgeville, California, to be auctioned off on eBay. That's kind of cool.
So I wonder if the
got its own post office.
I wonder if all the residents now are renters.
They must be. Well, they have to be if he owns the whole town.
Yeah.
But 83 acres. I ain't no telling what 80. I don't know where that is in California.
No.
But I know. I don't know. I guess. I don't know Bridgeville, California.
Bridgeville.
Yeah. But anyway, the land in California is high.
Oh, Lord, yes.
And the people buying it are hoping that some of it's not going to fall off in the ocean.
Some of the highest real estate in the country. Yeah, they say the ocean levels are rising.
Oh, okay, there you are. 83 acres close to San Francisco's got to be. That's probably a bargain then for 83 acres. Okay, here's a neat one. A house with a waterproof bunker, $2.1 million.
Now, I like this. Look how many levels that bunker has.
I mean, it's nice. Although the value, the finished house and the bunker at $18 million, it sold on eBay for just $2.1 million.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah, just $2.1 million. Well, it's got mountain views and from every window in the upstairs home and the entire upscale living space. In the bunker, there you are. You could hang out from the apocalypse, just right down there in your own.
I could live nice in that bunker.
It's good for Walking Dead. The zombie apocalypse coming in.
Yeah. There you
Okay,
go.
here's another one. The town of Albert, Texas. Find out where that is. It brought $2.5 million. A lot of towns been for sale. Let's see what it says about it.
I wonder what Manchester'd bring.
Albert, Texas was put up for auction on eBay in 2003. An insurance broker named Bobby Cave scooped up the town for only $216,000. Then resold it on eBay a few years later for $2.5. That's a pretty good investment.
All right.
Remember what I was talking about real estate earlier? Yeah. There you go. There's a good example. Real estate and antiques. That's where I'm going to be. Talk about flipping the town with a population of five. Albert is known for its history, having been a stop on the Fredericksburg Blanchot stage route. Well, evidently, so it's a stagecoach route.
Right.
That's pretty cool. And later, the President's Ranch Trail. There you go.
There's no boy tried to attack Chuck Norris the other day with a knife and actually did cut him, but said Chuck ended up tearing him apart. You messing with an 80-year-old man there that's no
ain't that something?
I don't believe I'd want to mess with Chuck at any age.
At any age, that's right.
Yeah.
All right, what'd you find out about the Texas town?
It's close to Austin and San Antonio.
Golly.
It's out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's close to those cities.
Yeah. Okay.
It calls it a ghost town now.
Oh, really? Well, it only had 5 people, so isn't there a lot of ghost towns like out?
I would say so.
Out west,
there's
out
quite
west,
a few,
especially.
yes.
Okay, here we go. Here's the third. Number 3. We went from 10 down. Lunch with Warren Buffett. Now, everybody knows who Warren Buffett is.
Yes.
He's a multi-billionaire.
One of the richest men in the world.
Yeah, still lives in a modest home. But anyway.
And drives an old 10-year-old car.
Anyway. My truck's 20 years old, but I ain't no multi-billionaire.
Well, you go buy lunch with Warren for $2.6 million, maybe he'll tell you something.
Yeah, well, there you are. Look there, it's at Dairy Queen. He's sitting there at Dairy Queen. See that Dairy Queen sign?
And it looks like he's having a blizzard.
So for $2.6, yeah.
Probably went in there on coupons.
Yeah.
Warren is tight. He's frugal. That's how he got his money.
You didn't spend $2 million having lunch with people.
No.
Well, no, that ain't how you got his billions, is it?
No.
Oh, here's another one. A Gulfstream 2. It's a Learjet. $4.9 million. See, if you had one of them, you'd never be late for work.
Yeah, we got to get Keith one of them.
He needs a helicopter. He'd have a hard time landing.
We either need to get him one of those or build him a room on this station here. That way we'll know he'll always.
in the back.
Now,
there you are.
We could build him a room.
I've stayed many times.
That's something we could
the radio
do.
station during storms and weather updates. It's fun.
We fixed up Lucky when he was here with
hang
her.
around people informed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To visit with the
I hadn't thought about
office. We got an office ghost here. He's a lot of fun.
Oh, is there?
His name's Hank.
Not Hank Williams.
No, Hank the Ghost.
All right, here's the number 1 thing that sold on eBay.
Now that is nice.
Now, what'd you call that? A Giga yacht?
Giga yacht.
That's what it says.
That's what it says it is.
$168 million. In 2006 when it sold. Purchased by a Russian, now get this, billionaire.
Yeah.
He's got some connections if he's a billionaire from Russia, isn't
he? He owns an investment company, Ray. And he owns a football club and all kinds of stuff. It's let's see. At 405 feet long, his new the yacht is 405 feet long.
Yeah, look what all it's got on it.
Yeah.
It's got a gym. It's got a movie theater.
Okay, we went from that, and if you keep scrolling down, it says 12 slabs who are still difficult to work with. So that ain't no eBay stuff right there, as far as I'm concerned.
No,
but it's on eBay.
But now we have that other side we can hit.
All right, I tell you what.
So how close are we?
One thing about Keith, he's learned to count to 2 because so far today he's held his 2 fingers up twice. So I don't know if that's a peace symbol or is that 2 minutes to break.
2 minutes to break.
Let's just
break now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go ahead and break.
John Hirschman. I'm one of the original 6 owners of P&H Rentals. Started the company 30 years ago when we saw a need for individual, construction, industrial, and commercial storage. We have trailers and containers for lease and sell. Our physical location is 2947 Old Manchester Highway, Tullahoma, Tennessee. My phone number is area code 931-273-4252.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
Madeline's Antiques and Uniques at 6107 Murfreesboro Road in Manchester has been helping collectors find just the right thing since 2008. With 40 quality dealers and a constantly changing inventory of collectibles from the 1800s to the present, they have many unique items in the store and new things coming in daily. Are you looking for the perfect lamp or clock to finish your collection? A vintage lunchbox from your childhood? Well, you can find that plus any number of other unique items in their huge building. With their easy access off I-24, they meet many travelers from around the world and just around the corner that come to buy and sell antiques, or just to stop and have a free cup of coffee and a cookie while browsing around the store. Come visit owner Madeline Kemp and travel back in time at Madeline's Antiques and Uniques. So many memories.
We would like to thank Dr. David Florence for supporting Let's Talk Antiques. See Dr. Florence at 804 Kalon Street in Manchester for all of your medical needs. Call 728-5522 for your appointment today. Most insurances accepted.
Need a part for your car that the dealer just wants too much money for? Well, bring your toolbox and pull the part yourself for huge savings at the CFC Auto Salvage Pick and Pull on Highway 55 between Tullahoma and Manchester. No walking through waist-high weeds here. All of our vehicles are located in our graveled parking lot, up on blocks with room to work. We stock hundreds of cars and trucks, foreign and domestic, new and old, with new vehicles added weekly. You can even search our entire vehicle inventory online. And if your old vehicle gives up the ghost, bring it by. We offer top dollar for your salvage vehicle. Open to the public 7 days a week until dark, so there's plenty of time to come by. That's CFC Auto Salvage Pick and Pull.
All right, now what we're going to do, tell them, Ronnie, what?
Now we're going to talk about most popular watched items on eBay. Now we're talking about active auctions, things that are selling right now, and there's lots of neat stuff on here.
Okay, here's the first thing. It's
good list.
It's coins, silver coins. It must be a pretty good little group of just mixed silver coins, quarters, dime. Yeah, they're all silver, but it's got 1,030 watchers. Current bid's $189.95. Hey, get this, free shipping.
Oh wow!
Time left 26 days, so that's going to be on there a while.
Yeah.
So who knows? We need to probably, 26 days from now, Keith, put a note and we'll look see what it brought.
That must have been a 30 days.
Okay, here is 892 watchers. It's a 10 zinc alloy clear glass crystal sparker cabinet drawer pulls.
Yeah,
knobs.
Those are really popular right now. Those door pulls, those antique ones.
Yeah, but okay, here it's got a $10.99 bid, and still got 13 days. So who knows?
Yeah.
Put that down 13 days there, Keith, and we'll look at that.
Well, with all those watchers,
Yeah. Okay, here's 713 watchers. World map poster. Educational walk chart. Flag school learn geography. Flag school learn geography. Okay, $6.42. Now, Keith, you put this down. It's only 2 days from now. Mm-hmm. Now we won't be here, but you go ahead and put it down.
Okay. And 713 people watching.
Yeah.
Lord.
A map. I've got some of those maps. You remember when they used to have those pull-down maps in school, Ray?
We got one of those.
Looks like a window shade.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it is.
Wow.
Okay, here we go. 600.
Now,
did that sound like, what's that? Here we go. What's that? The comedian down from Georgia,
I remember in the Away We Go.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That was Jackie Gleason.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another one. 649 watchers. It's the absolute antique 1800s iron skeleton keys. A lot of 25.
Now,
there's 2,500 of them.
Those skeleton keys are neat. I like those.
Well, right now, It's $21.95, and if you really like
That's
it,
for a lot of kids. That's for a lot of kids.
well, but here's the deal: it's free shipping.
Oh yeah,
But it's only
what they'll end up bringing.
it's only 25 more days though, so we'll see what it brings.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot changes in
You can
25
put that
days.
on your watch list too, and add another watcher to it.
Yeah. Let's see, a
Well, you got 100
silicone.
items on your watch list by now.
Yeah, I probably do. Yeah, I'm continuously every week. I knock off the completed, and and I add new watch items so I can kind of see I'm kind of watching that market instead of the stock market. I watch the antique market.
It's the same thing. It's up and down.
Okay, here we go. 580 watchers, a silicone dip 6-watt large candle light bulb. Okay, silicone dip 6-watt large candle light bulb. Okay, so I don't know. I don't know what that is, but I mean it says what it is. But you ever seen one? Silicone dip? Yeah.
Must be an old one.
Well, its current bid is $249. Guess what on it? You get free shipping on it too. There's a lot of free shipping here.
Lots of free shipping.
But it's still got a day. Well, a day and 6 hours. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, so it's got 577 watchers. It's a braided woven silk fabric lamp cable. Evidently,
That's just
cord.
a cord for a cable, yeah.
$5.63 is what the bid is right now, and still got 17 days.
Somebody want to put an old lamp back original.
All right, here's 4 ornate shelf brackets, 5 5/8 by 8 and 8 by 3 inches.
Yeah, those are cast iron too.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, rustic cast iron, antique style. Now that has me worried when it says style.
Yeah, it tells me they're newer. Yeah.
Okay, it's at $24.25 and still got 8 days. That's a lot. That's a lot of watchers though, isn't it?
Yeah, for something like that.
All right, here's 520 watchers, a wooden box, handmade, trinket storage keepsake, jewelry. Okay, it's got a card holder on it. It's at $6.79 in 14 days.
Yeah, that's probably a newer item.
I'm gonna skip around here because there's a lot of them.
there's some
bunches of them. Let me see if I can find us something. Yeah.
That little Aladdin's lamp, that looks like the genie lamp. Egyptian decorative. That is an Aladdin lamp.
Where at?
Your finger's right over.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, here's one though. A primitive black wood crow with a burgundy spindle. It's at $12.79. It's got 466 watchers. Here's some more keys. Some of them are skeleton. Let's see, $309, 425 watchers. And here's that one you're talking about, Egyptian decorative brass Aladdin lantern lamp.
Yeah.
$15.26, and it's got 29 days left. See what else we can find in here, because there's so many items. There's a lot of watchers.
I wonder why, maybe a lot of people have these things they want to sell.
Here we go, 355 watchers, and there's 3 crates. They're just reclaimed pine wooden crates. Shelf display, that's what they said you could use them for.
Yeah.
$18, still like 13 days.
3, yeah, they're, okay.
Oh, here's something that I've got, and I like these. These are smaller. I've got like a 12-inch one, but these are 3-inch authentic Japanese glass fishing net floats. And what they do, we did a story on this years ago, and Teeny Smotherman, she has a few of these. But when she was, in Japan and different places, her family traveled around. She collected these off the beach. But they take Coca-Cola bottles, the Japanese would, and they would melt those things and make floats out of them, like a round ball. And each fisherman had his own marking, so that when they put them out to fish out in the ocean,
they would know whose net it was.
What family. Now these here right now, I told you there was 329 watchers. It looks like several floats. It's at $13, but likes 22 days. And with that, Ronnie, I think I'm gonna let you, because there's a lot. We can go on and on and on and on.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff.
We're still. I've scrolled way down here, and we're still at 219 watches. Here's a 12-inch ship wheel. $18.99.
That'd be nice to have.
And it says Pirate Captain.
Yeah, 12-inch. That's probably would never use. That's a small wheel.
I wouldn't think
for
it would
a ship.
be.
You know,
That'd have to be a small ship.
Yeah, that'd be an awful small ship.
All right. So what's your next item of?
We got plenty of time left, I guess. We were going to talk about JFK's Winter White House. They auctioned off a lot of the pieces from his winter home in Palm Beach, Florida. It says the home of President John F. Kennedy in Palm Beach, Florida, fondly referred to as the Winter White House, was the site where many of the president's pivotal decisions that defined his legacy were formulated. Kennedy's inaugural address, with the indelible line, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country," everybody knows that one, was penned. He penned that there over a Christmas vacation in 1961. Says he interviewed his entire cabinet there, with the exception of his brother Bobby and Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara, who was interviewed at the White House. It was also the place where Kennedy wrote Profiles in Courage, and that was new to me. I didn't know he'd ever written a book. And it was the place where he spent his last weekend just 4 days prior to his assassination in '63. Now, this home was originally a Kennedy compound purchased by his father Joe and Rose in 1933. The family owned the house for 62 years. Excuse me, until it was sold, along with much of the contents and furnishings, to John Castle, who was a New York businessman who went to great lengths to preserve it as it had been used by the Kennedys. Now, on January the 23rd, Leslie Heineman auctioneers offered 153 lots of furniture and decorative artwork from the historic collection, which was consigned directly from Mr. and Mrs. Castle. The top selling lot was a pair of large Venetian glass mirrors that hung in the Kennedy's living room, and the pair sold for almost 10 times the high estimate, which was $38,750. So they were expecting about $3,800.
Hey, while you were getting ready to flip that page, go ahead and flip it. But I did an eBay search, and I searched it. The first thing I did, I put in J.F. Kennedy.
Right.
And it come up, the highest price thing that was sold was $900, which was a Time magazine. Now, the second time I searched it, I put John F. Kennedy.
Right.
And so when you get through here, the highest price thing that sold was $25,000. So it's all about how you search something too.
Right.
I mean that's a big difference, ain't it? Between
that can make a
just
lot.
from just putting his initials in to actually putting his name in.
That can make a lot of difference in what something will actually bring on eBay too. Is how you list it.
Yeah.
You know, you may list it, or not that many people see it, and it won't bring
it's all
much
about
nothing.
listing it right and spelling.
Yeah.
I like to misspell things too when I hunt,
right?
Because a lot of times when they list it, they misspell it, and there's only a few items, but there ain't a lot of people because most people spell it right when they're hunting
You
it.
find a lot of bargains that way.
Yes, you do.
Lots of bargains. Back to our article here. It says, anticipated the sale commanded global attention. The items were exhibited at Leslie Hyman's Palm Beach showroom and drew a national and local standing room only in-house audience. And of course, they had strong competition from phone bidders and participants on multiple internet platforms. So the total auction yielded about $500,000. Many people came to preview, and the sale would have been old. Many of the people who came to the preview would have been old enough to live during Kennedy's presidential years, said Corbin Horn, fine furniture and decorative art specialist. Once said one man was wearing a Kennedy for President t-shirt, and he had a Kennedy campaign button pinned to the lapel of his jacket. So I guess he was a Kennedy fan, wasn't he? he would have been a big Kennedy fan. People were in a very up mood, and it was as though they were reliving time of innocence in our country, which we know as the Camelot years, and that's what they called, Kennedy's time in office. The sale was a major attraction for Kennedy collectors, but also had much to offer for those seeking architecturally excellent items and fine decorative elements. Now, I'm going to just go over a few of the pieces here that it's sold. And
tell you what, let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll do that because you got a few and I have too.
Okay.
Madeline's Antiques and Uniques at 6107 Murfreesboro Road in Manchester has been helping collectors find just the right thing since 2008. With 40 quality dealers and a constantly changing inventory of collectibles from the 1800s to the present, they have many unique items in the store and new things coming in daily. Are you looking for the perfect lamp or clock to finish your collection? A vintage lunchbox from your childhood? Well, you can find that plus any number of other unique items in their huge building. With their easy access off I-24, they meet many travelers from around the world and just around the corner that come to buy and sell antiques, or just to stop and have a free cup of coffee and a cookie while browsing around the store. Come visit owner Madeline Kemp and travel back in time at Madeline's Antiques and Uniques. So many memories.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
Need a part for your car that the dealer just wants too much money for? Well, bring your toolbox and pull the part yourself for huge savings at the CFC Auto Salvage Pick and Pull on Highway 55 between Tullahoma and Manchester. No walking through waist-high weeds here. All of our vehicles are located in our graveled parking lot, up on blocks with room to work. We stock hundreds of cars and trucks, foreign and domestic, new and old, with new vehicles added weekly. You can even search our entire vehicle inventory online. And if your old vehicle gives up the ghost, bring it by. We offer top dollar for your salvage vehicle. Open to the public 7 days a week until dark, so there's plenty of time to come by. That's CFC Auto Salvage Pick and Pull.
My name's John Hirschman. I'm one of the original 6 owners of P&H Rentals. Started the company 30 years ago when we saw a need for individual, construction, industrial, and commercial storage. We have trailers and containers for lease and sell. Our physical location is 2947 Old Manchester Highway, Tullahoma, Tennessee. My phone number is area code 931-273-4252.
We would like to thank Dr. David Florence for supporting Let's Talk Antiques. See Dr. Florence at 804 Kalon Street in Manchester for all of your medical needs. Call 728-5522 for your appointment today. Most insurances accepted.
When we left, we were talking about...
You're going to talk about some sold items.
The collection from the Kennedy Winter House, and we're not going to go through the whole story, but we're going to talk about what some of the...
We don't have that much time.
What some of the items brought.
Yeah.
There was a pair of walnut Venetian style twin beds. Now, these are 2 beds, and they look like kind of a leaf.
That's why they call them twins, right?
On the top, yeah, because there's 2. I thought it was because it was twin size. What do you think, Philip? But anyway, they're not anything real fancy. I mean, they're not real fancy looking beds.
They look like an Empire style or something, or Eastlake style's really what it looks like.
Yeah, they kind of got the little leaf design on the top. And,
it looks kind of like an Eastlake bed.
just plain on the ends, but there was a pair of them.
How much they bring?
And they came from the bedroom that John Kennedy initially shared with his brother Joe when they were growing up, and later with Jackie. They were estimated to bring between $3,000 and $5,000, but they ended up bringing $20,000. That's pretty good money for.
Yeah. What about, is that chairs right there?
Yeah, this is a set of 18th century and later Spanish Baroque style walnut dining chairs.
How many was in the set?
Composed of, well, there was 2 armchairs that were made to go with the set later on, but there were 10 altogether.
10 altogether.
Yeah, that's what it said. Yeah, there were 10. And 10 original size chairs. The 2 made-to-match chairs added by John Castle were the original set used by the Kennedys throughout their 62-year tenure at the compound.
How much they bring, Ronnie?
They brought $17,500 against an estimated value of $5,000. We also have a family portrait that was taken outside the house with John, his wife Jackie, John Jr., and Carolyn. It was taken on Easter Sunday by Bob Davidoff Kennedy, sold for $6,250.
I've seen that image before, Ronnie, and just circulating. I've seen
must be a popular.
Yeah, they used that image quite a bit.
Painting then, they had estimated it at $1,000 to $2,000, but it brought $6,250. Now here's a nice, interesting.
Think about this, Ronnie. Out of those 4 people, there's 3 of them passed away.
That's right. The only one left is the daughter.
How did they get rich?
Well, their dad, Joe, got rich during Prohibition.
Yeah.
Well, how do you think it was during Prohibition? What would you say?
That's my point. The Bible says, woe to any man.
Yeah.
You're right, Ray. Yep.
Now, there's an interesting story to go with this next piece here, and it's an 8-panel floor screen, and it was acquired by Rose Kennedy. She actually traded a Winston Churchill's, I believe it was his daughter.
Traded his daughter off for a floor screen?
Yeah, she traded a fur coat that she was wearing.
Okay, not the daughter, a fur coat.
Yeah, she traded.
Well, that's good because you can't do that. You can't swap people for stuff.
She traded the fur coat for the screen.
Yeah.
Sir Lady Soames was in her home in England and feeling chilly because they didn't have any central heat and air.
Yeah.
So Mrs. Kennedy, who was visiting her at the time, traded a fur coat she was wearing for the screen. Now it sold for $16,500 against an estimated value of $2,000 to $4,000. And that's all they're actually listing on.
Well, okay, since you mentioned JFK, let me get my eyes on here. Yeah. Okay, here's some completed auctions on eBay. His original signed U.S. Senate ID card.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
$25,000.
How many of them are out there?
Well, that was it.
Yeah.
Okay, that was his original one. United States Senate. That'd be really nice to have. Here is when they say this is a John F. Kennedy signed cut display and it's PSA certified, what they're saying is that signature, they trimmed that signature off of something.
Right.
And then they framed it up with a picture. But it's PSA certified, and that's who I use when I buy stuff. Yeah, that's most reputable. It had 15 bids, and it brought $5,500. That's just a signature with a picture of him, framed nice. Here's another one. Here's an autograph signed 1954 Senate Chambers pass. His Senate Chamber pass, but it's got a picture of him, but it has the pass framed up too, and it's PSA certified, and it brought $4,200.
That's another thing. There's probably not that many of his passes because they would have had what?
Here's a signed presidential letter, 1962, and it's PSA. And that PSA really means a lot.
The PSA too. DNA, that's what they call it.
It brought, you might as well say $5,000. Let's see.
There's some more signatures.
Yeah, here's a couple more signatures. And one of them is another $5,000 one. One's $4,300.
His signature brings.
Now these are letters, though. These are actual White House letters.
Right.
These two.
On the White House stationery,
Yeah.
I assume.
Yeah. Here's a handwritten signed letter, photograph, and it's just a letter that he wrote, and it's got a picture of him, and then it's signed. It brought $4,300. Well, $4,295.
Wow.
I like to round things off.
Yeah.
Here's just an index card, a 3x5 index card, signed by him. It brought $3,299.
Wow. What's that Norman Rockwell piece there? A Time for Greatness?
It's a lithograph, and it brought $3,150.
I wonder
It's
if that was,
it's a 1979 signed by Norman Rockwell, of course, not
yeah,
Kennedy.
Right.
But it brought $3,150.
No, little Lee Harvey Oswald.
Hey, here's one.
Envelope from Moscow.
This is a Lee Harvey Oswald envelope that's from Moscow, signed by him, the assassin Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah.
It brought $3,750.
The supposed assassin.
Mm-hmm.
If you believe the conspiracy theory.
Here's a book signed by JFK. Yeah, there's all kind of theories, isn't there?
Yeah.
$2,000, just a book signed by him. Let's see what we got here. And here's another signature, $2,000. Here's another signature of John F. Kennedy and Dean Rusk, $1,525. And with that, we're going to have to get out of here, Keith.